Good morning, Magic players. Welcome to the morning show where we discuss all things Magic the Gathering. Get your questions fired up. Let's have a great discussion this morning. Also, we do Decklist reviews, so if you got a 75 you'd like some feedback on, hey, submit it to us, and both myself and the coffee crew would love to give you that feedback. So brew up the coffee crew. Let's brew up some Magic this morning. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for August 26, 2021. I am your host, Nikachu, the Merfolk Master. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Formasustle. Good morning, El Taco, Quay, Mikey J, James, Alex Miller. Good morning, everyone. Cole, Andrew Sisson, MTG Ectoplasm, of course, every morning with MTG Ectoplasm. And good morning, Lord Magicus. Well, and what would it be really a morning if we didn't thank our wonderful sponsors at FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week this week, save 15% off. Select heavily played and damaged Magic singles. So if you don't mind playing with cards that have been through the washer, have been through a dryer, the dog chewed it up a little bit, hey, Fusion Gaming Online has got you covered with big discounts. So not only do you get a discount because it's already, it's in dog crap condition, you can also get additional 15% off because of the deal of the week. And don't forget, hey, if that is not enough of a discount, you get additional discounts when you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Just discount after discount after discount with FusionGamingOnline.com. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And you know what? If you don't want to, the easiest way to probably improve any deck is just add like Dragon Rage Chandler and Ragavan to it. And if you're afraid of those cards getting banned because they're now seeing play in basically any deck, then you don't want to buy into those cards. You rent them with Mana Traders. You can support the channel by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 15% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu. So we got a lot of announcements recently, people. We got a lot of announcements. Some people happy, some people sad. People have mixed feelings about it. Should just address one thing. A lot of people think Wizards of the Coast, they're hold on, where's this? Where's this great tweet I made? I didn't make the image. I ripped it from Magic the Circle Jerking. Just a reminder, remember, in 1 week, in a little bit more than 1 week, we are moving the whole Coffee and MTG stream to Nikachu MTG stream, so make sure that you're there. It's an alternate YouTube channel. It's not Nikachu MTG. Good morning, Kaya, Andrew, Gold Medals, Trevor, Just, Direwolf. Good morning, Aztec Guy, Cody. Here it is. I thought this was hilarious. I was right because it got a lot of press. I actually got a lot of, I haven't got this many likes. Well, now I have a new content strategy. Just steal stuff from Magic the Circle Jerk, and I like that it at least acknowledges the original creator at the bottom when you copy pictures from Reddit. But you see, we've got, in the Neo Dynasty era, we got Gandalf here. We got a mob boss. We got someone from, this tomato guy from Fortnite, and someone from 40k in the background. This is the future of Magic the Gathering, people. Love it or hate it. This is the future of Magic the Gathering. For me, it looks like something out of Star Wars. What was it, Star Wars Episode 2 or 3? You know, you see so many different colorful characters within the Star Wars universe. But a lot of... I would push back against the criticism that Wizards is doing all of this for a cash grab. Like, oh, they're just trying to make, like, one-time money at the expense of the game. No, that's not the long-term strategy here. The long-term strategy is they're trying to... Look, not many people play this game. When push comes to shove, Magic is nothing. It is a very small niche game. Nobody really people barely know this game exists. You know, if you ask people about Magic cards, they can relate more to... They've heard more of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon than they've heard of Magic the Gathering. Wizards is now making a push to all the other fan bases, all the other fandoms. Hey, we're Magic the Gathering. Come play our game. Try it out. It's been like it's solid for 30 years. 35 years? What are we at? 1993 is when it was invented. We're approaching, I think, yeah, we're approaching 30 years. We're approaching 30 years. So anyway, and if we can grab people from every other fandom, from every other culture in gaming, this game will be a lot bigger, a lot bigger. So this is not a short-term cash grab. This is a long-term strategy to make the game way larger. I don't know if it's going to make competitive Magic larger. It probably will, because some part of players that join the game are going to want to play it more competitively. But it's definitely going to make Commander a lot larger. So this is the whole point, in my opinion. All right, you know the drill. 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question helps me find your questions amongst all the comments I'm getting on my YouTube channels and Facebook fan page. Or you could submit your questions with super chats. Donate with a super chat on YouTube, and your question gets pushed to the top of the feed. Or if you're early, like Mikey J, hey, you have a better chance of your question being answered. The Humans Decklist registration foe is gonna get weird. The Humans Decklist registration foe? I don't get it. It's gonna get weird. The Humans Decklist. I don't get it. Oh, this picture either comes from Star Wars or a 2006 shit poster's wet dream. Okay, we have a slightly refined version. The Humans Decklist registration form is gonna get weird soon. I still don't get it. What are you talking about, Mikey J? What are you talking about? I know you've like a 200 character limit, but you gotta be more specific. Is Jumpstart live on Magic the Gathering Arena today? I don't know. Coffee Crew, is it? I have not followed exactly when it starts. Jumpstart Modern Horizons release dates. August 24th. What do we got? The 26th? What, is it already out? It launches. Oh no, but it was pushed back, wasn't it? Or maybe, or is now the pushback day? Because according to this, it was 2 days ago, which I don't think is true. I don't hear anyone talking about playing with Sveilun right now. 1 hour ago, it is. All right. Any moment now. Any moment now. So after Coffee and MTG is done, you can jump on MTG Arena. Thoughts on Endurance in Simic Merfolk? I tried it, but like I didn't get any of the matchups for it. That's the problem. I didn't really get any matchups for Endurance. It's okay. It's okay. Probably it's not that necessary. You know what a card I think I would really like to experiment with right now? Kira Great Glass Spinner. There is just so much damn removal. I find that, like, if I can exhaust my opponent's removal, they're in a lot of trouble. I think maybe I should be looking to play this card again, even though it's just a random 2/2 flyer. It's a removal game right now, and if I can beat the removal game, I feel like I'm in good shape. Gotta be resistant to that removal. Like, if Sveilun can't be touched, I win. If I, you know, so that might be the direction I try to take the deck soon. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. What's up, Endgame? Trevor Just, only thing missing is Hasbro walking in the background with all my money. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all of Hasbro. The shareholders. I mean, all you guys have to do is buy a share of Hasbro, and boom! Now you're eligible for that money. Andrew Sisson, honest question. Does this actually bring more people into actually playing the game, or do they just see it as a collectibles that they can add to their collection? I think from our Magic the Gathering player perspective, it is just a collectible that adds to their collection. I do not know, but I don't think Wizards would make this big of a push if that wasn't their intention. This is not to just get money. That's for sure. I mean, yeah, there's many ways of getting money without burning the lore of the game. but I think this is much more of a way of advertising themselves to other games that wouldn't know that they have existed. And they might have experimented with this even as far back with what's it called? The War of the Spark. The anime War of the Spark cards? Those, I don't know, like I'm just making some random guess here. Those cards got really popular not because it was like it had a special art, but because the artist was particularly popular, and people who like to collect art collected those cards even though they weren't Magic the Gathering players, and maybe they saw some people moving into Magic the Gathering because they appealed these cards to people from outside the game. I hope I explained that properly. But this is what I think they're doing. This is why they're making all these collector things. And maybe they got even more hard data from The Walking Dead. But I have a feeling when they made The Walking Dead Secret Lair, they already had plans of doing all this crap anyway. It's also possible they're pulling data from other industries that have done a very similar thing. Do you think Magic the Gathering Arena is rigged? No. The only thing that is rigged, and this is true, is that your starting hands in best of one, they are rigged. You are not... They're set up in a way that you don't have to mulligan so much, that you'll have an even distribution of lands and spells. That is rigged. That's not random. So if you might not have ever noticed it, because you never feel like you're getting unlucky, but yeah, it's rigged. Which makes me wonder, I can't remember if you can game the system by going down on lands so that you force... I don't know if it works like that, if they force a hand of like a certain number of spells and lands, or they take like 5 samples of hands and then give you the best one. I can't remember how it works. If anyone knows, hey, let us all know. Quaydog, with 2 sets on Dominaria coming up in 2022, what do you think our chances are of getting more sweet playable Merfolk? Last time we got a Trickster after all. We got a chance, that's all I'm going to say. We've got... You know what? I don't know, they keep... Every set that comes out, there seems to be like a playable for Merfolk that I can add. You know, the Glass Pool Mimic gets printed. Yeah, Trickster got printed. But it's like, it's very rarely a bomb. Like, I want a bomb, and I also want a 1-drop. Like, I want a good 1-drop. Wizards just throwing the 1-drops out to every other color in the color pie. Blue gets nothing. Blue never gets a good... Well, I wouldn't say never gets a good 1-drop. They got Delver of Secrets, but, you know, you could also say that card's pretty obsolete at this point, too, anyway. Why are they ruining Magic? To market the game. To more people. Mind you, only the hardcore old players hate these changes. A lot of people like these changes, and that's why Wizards is moving in this direction. They don't care what you say, because you're, like, less than 1% of their consumer base. Way less than 1%. You're the loudest part, but you're still less than 1% of their consumer base. Oh, well, we use these question marks because you guys are making all sorts of comments. This helps me just helps me shortcut what I have to read as a question and ignore as a comment. What is the point? Does Arena become... At what point does Arena become good? Good becomes good to you right... Let's say you want to play Magic for free. You can do that right now. It's like an incredibly easy way to get into the game. No cost. It is actually one of the best free-to-play platforms, like for a card game online. They've got a really good program for grinding rewards. I mean, you have to grind, but it's not that bad. It's not... You will not be forced to pay for a good deck. If you want to save yourself time grinding these rewards and grinding the cards, then by all means, go buy the cards. But you can play on Arena completely for free. So, I mean, it's in a pretty good spot right now. And if you like Historic, if you like Standard, if you like the Draft, I mean, they've got everything for you at the moment. I'm fine with Fortnite since it's just Godzilla skins. I'm buying the fuck out of... Oh, you mean you're selling? Or no, you're buying. You're gonna buy a lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff. I can't tell if you're upset or if you're excited. Dustin Lee, do you think Mono Black will ever win a tournament, seeing as how all the other mono colors have? Well, that's not true. I don't know a mono green deck that's won a tournament. Well, what turn? Like in what format? Mono black has won tournaments in the past, but if you're talking like in modern day Magic, like I don't think mono green has won a damn thing. Mono black has not for sure. What else do we have? Has mono blue won a tournament? I don't know. Mono red has. Mono red is like the most well-positioned deck to do something like that, and maybe mono white has. Mono color is difficult to win with, because you're basically chopping off some of your options. Fox, I just got here and you're telling me they are introducing all the BS and that it's all true. That's correct. If you thought that these were memes online, nope. This is all real. This is real stuff. When the spoilers begin for from Midnight Hunt, I do not know. We'll know when it happens. Endgame. Speaking of crossovers, what's the obscure MTG crossover that you'd want? That I'd want? I'd want some Nintendo crossover, probably. I would like some sort of Nintendo crossover. I don't know. They like bring the any characters from Smash Brothers in here. Ethan said they said that the Warhammer Commander products will be modern legal. I think, well, I think the Warhammer... Okay, I don't know about this. If it's modern legal, then that means that the Warhammer cards are just skins. They're not actual, like, they're not unique cards. I thought they're going to be unique cards, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just skins. The only set I think is unique cards going directly into modern is Lord of the Rings. If I don't... Hold on, can we confirm about this? I don't think... If it's a Commander product, I don't think it's going into Modern. I think you might be mistaking with Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is going directly into Modern. Lord of the Rings, 100%, but I don't think the Warhammer... If Warhammer... Unless it's... There are Modern legal cards already. Okay, so anyway, if there's an answer to this, we'll go back to it later. But I don't remember them ever saying anything's going into Modern, like as a unique card. And I think the Warhammer cards are unique, but I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to that particular news. They only care what you say if you can get thousands to echo it, and if it's about Commander. No, they care about how you spend your money. That's the bottom line. So when they made the Secret Lair, and it was the best-selling Secret Lair of all time, you can say whatever you want, but money talks louder, or I should say the money speaks louder than anyone on Twitter or Reddit. That's the bottom line. Yeah, where are our bomb 1-drops? What about subtlety for mono blue Merfolk? I think it's possible, but I never play tested it. I'm already pretty apprehensive for 2 for winning myself in this metagame, because like I said, I need to grind out my opponents. 2 for winning myself early doesn't feel very appealing, but getting to 4 mana is quite realistic though for mono blue Merfolk. $98 a share right now. Let's look at that Hasbro stock. Hasbro stock price. And we know things that other people don't. Well, Hasbro's a big company. Wizards of the Coast is only one piece of it. As far as I know, Wizards of the Coast is basically holding the ship afloat. What is there? Oh, wow, this stock has gone nowhere, actually. Poor Hasbro. Trevor, it's just like a drug dealer. Fortnite flavored. Canadian spelling for you. Yes, thank you very much. Drug, 40k flavored. The hope is someone gets hooked. Basically. I mean, if you're a hardcore Fortnite player, a hardcore 40k player, you might be interested in the collectibles that are showing up in other games. Corey Gwynn played Paper for decades, Arena for years. Is Magic the Gathering Online worth getting into? If so, why is your opinion? Oh my god. If you've played on Arena and then you go to Magic the Gathering Online, the experience will be absolute garbage. It'll be terrible. The user interface is not intuitive. Nothing is going to work like you think it does. All of us, everything that you've learned in Arena to play Magic is not going to apply on Magic the Gathering Online at all. So there are a few factors that make Magic the Gathering Online like viable for you if you want to, and other people can leave their own opinion in the comment section and chat. So one is that you get to play more formats. You get to play Vintage, you can play Legacy, you get to play Modern, you can play Pioneer, you get to play Pauper. So they have more formats. Some of the more popular formats, like Modern, for example, on Magic the Gathering Online, you can't play those on Arena. And while they're trying to do their best to get those formats on, it's going to take forever for them to do so. So that's one reason. Another one is if you want to play for money, and I know they've got open events once in a while, but in general, you play for ticks. You spend play points or ticks to get into events, and then you win treasure chests, which can be sold for ticks, and then you can sell the ticks on the secondary market for money. So technically, you are always playing for money. So if you want to play tournaments and events where you feel like something's at stake, then Magic the Gathering Online is for you. And in general, I think the competition there is... well, you can get good competition on Arena too, I would say, on the ladder, because you have to keep playing. You know, there comes a point where you reach a ceiling because you start playing against really good players. But when money's on the line, I think it's a different type of competition. So anyway, it's a very good way for you to playtest all the other formats on Magic the Gathering Online. Now, a third one is you have the option to rent cards with rental services on Magic the Gathering Online. You can't do that with Arena. You either buy boosters to get wild cards, or grind rewards to get wild cards. That's the only way you can make decks on MTG Arena. You can't trade cards, you can't do anything. But with Magic the Gathering Online, you can play any deck at any moment on Magic the Gathering Online with a rental service. So long as it's within the rental limit. I understand some decks cost more than what the rental service offers, like Mana Traders caps you at 1,000 ticks. So, also, Magic Gathering Online is an excellent teacher. It teaches you the phases and triggers and how to stack the triggers. It's great practice, especially when you can rent the cards you need for a relatively cheap monthly fee. So yeah, Magic the Gathering Online, you're going to feel that it's really hardcore when it comes to the rules. Like, it shows you in detail how this game operates, where on MTG Arena, it's sort of invisible. You will very visibly see exactly how everything works for Magic on Magic the Gathering Online. There, those are all the benefits. Don't forget coupon code Nikachu for 15% off your first 2 months at Mana Traders. Mana Traders. Be a better player with Mana Traders. Oh, Mono Green Tron. Does that count? I guess that counts. Mono Green Tron definitely has won tournament. So there was a question earlier. You know, Mono Black has never won. All the other mono colors have won. Yeah, Mono Green Tron. I guess that counts. You got me. That's a good one. Mono Green Stompy has never won anything. So don't you dare mention Mono Green Stompy. Never. Where are all these questions? Alex Miller, hey Nikachu, big fan of your content. I just recently found a liking to Modern thanks to you. Oh, you're welcome. Or I'm sorry. It depends. Like, the Modern community is a super heated community. Was wondering if there was a way to make a budget Tron deck. I just play with my friends mostly. Yeah, absolutely. Just don't play with the expensive Planeswalkers and stuff. Just play with the Tron cards. Play with Expedition Map, but you just choose other big colorless cards. Okay, what can people recommend for Alex here? What are some, like, good win conditions? By the way, you can also play with some Eldrazi. Like, I've seen people play with, what's it called? What, World Breaker? So we need, like, so they play with World Breaker. It's a good way of just, like, destroying, you know, it's like removal and a giant creature at the same time. Ulamog's Crusher, sure. Is this good enough? It is, yeah, this is not too bad. 8/8 with Annihilator 2. This is not too bad. Look up Paupertron lists. Mere Battlesphere. I don't think I'm not a fan of Stone Coil Serpent. I guess it's okay. Trillin also has a lot of mono blue Tron decks that actually have performed very well. I mean, we can look. I mean, this is a good point. Let's Trillin, MTG Goldfish. This guy actually is 5-0ing very often with like super budget Tron decks. They're blue-green, but whatever. Oh, what the hell's going on here? Okay, this is a... Where's the cheap ones? Here's the cheap one. Okay, that's actually mono blue. So you can get it for $146 or 17 ticks. So here, take a screenshot of this. Playing with Gigantha, the Wellspring, as a companion. Filigree Familiar, Solemn Simulacrum, Elder Deep Fiend. Ooh, the whole budget is spent on Ugin the Spear Dragon. Condescend, Repeal, Spatial Contortion, Thirst for Knowledge, Expedition Map, Mindslaver. Sack it, control the player's next turn. Academy Ruins for recycling the Mindslaver. Field of Ruin, 8 Island, all the Tron lands, 2 Yavimaya Coast. And then you got Tormod's Crypt, Negate, Spreading Seas, Mystical Dispute, Nimble Obstructionist. This is as cheap as it will get while being very competitive. He's got 2 5-0s with this thing. He's actually performed incredibly well with these budget decks. So, if you want to go mono blue, that's the direction. Mono blue shitters won a Pro Tour. That's in standard. Like in standard, everything is one. Like mono black is one, mono white, mono red, mono green, mono blue. So I mean, I don't. Sure, we can count standard, but anything can happen in standard. Carlos says, imagine if they make a ring of Sauron, a soul ring, in that secret lair. It'd be sweet. Oh, did mono... Okay, that's a good question. Did mono green elves ever win a GP? Because they're usually splashing black. I don't know if they ever won a GP. Probably they did. Elves won twice. Elves won 2 GPs. But were they mono green? Were they mono green or were they green black? I don't remember. Dank Dungeon, what are your thoughts on secret lairs on lore-wise, like Walking Dead, and how it has impacted the fan base? Oh, the people hated it. People absolutely hated it. Like, where I would say, it's just that these super old-time players hated it. The newer players, they don't mind. They like it. They're looking forward to it. But the old... I guess, to some degree, maybe we just can't relate to this stuff. Personally, I just go with the flow. I mean, this is how it is, people. Are you done crying in the corner about it? All right, let's move on. We're not going anywhere. Where are you gonna go? You gonna go to Yu-Gi-Oh? You gonna go to the Pokemon trading card game? You gonna go to Hearthstone? You're not going anywhere. You pick up your fucking Gandalf, you put it in your deck, and you know, whatever, you'd be happy. Are there any merfolk in the Lord of the Rings? Like, are there sirens? I don't want a siren. I want merfolk. Are there fish people in Lord of the Rings? I want to say no. That doesn't sound good. It's going to be a whole Lord of the Rings set, and there's going to be nothing for us. Magic and you... I doubt this I don't know, maybe this crossover could happen. Maybe they would find, like... I don't know. I don't know who benefits out of this crossover. But, I mean, these are 2 completely direct competitors. Rocco! Playing Jundluris at a 1K in Columbus this weekend. Any opinions on running Ass Trophy over Terminate in the main? I have none. Tron is on the rise. The rise back, so maybe it's worthwhile over Terminate right now. Dream crossover, the Brothers War, Nikachu versus Nikachu versus Nikachu's brother. Voltage Games. I was planning on getting an altar for Elsha of the Infinite with my favorite Street Fighter character, but with the negative pushback the layers are getting, I'm second guessing it. No, like, get whatever you want. Here's the thing. People are not against, or I should say most people shouldn't be against cosmetics, because, like, people have been altering cards towards Street Fighter characters, Mortal Kombat characters, like Nintendo characters, Xbox characters, PlayStation characters for years. And maybe that's what inspired them. Hey, if everyone's like altering their cards to these things, we got to cash in on it. So like you absolutely could. People don't really have a problem with you altering stuff. But that people do have a problem with, I guess, Wizards officially doing it. And of course, the actual game, and then there's well, most people are actually okay with the cosmetics. Like, no one blinked at the Godzilla cards. No one cared. All right, whatever. You have Godzilla imagery on actual cards. But when the actual cards are changing the lore of Magic, changing the universe of Magic, that's where they draw the line. Is Lord of the Rings set basically going to be Modern Horizons 3? No, actually. They specifically said that they're not making this a... They're letting the set be playable in Modern, but this is not a for Modern set, like they do with Modern Horizons 1 and Modern Horizons 2. But let's see if, like, they really honor what they just said. It's possible that it's still going to be, like, pretty powerful cards. It's like, these cards are powerful enough to go into Modern. You make it sound like Wizards of the Coast cares about money. Yeah, they do. They do! They care about the money. Good targets to fetch with Ranger Captain of Eos. Walking Ballista. Done. And let it combo with Heliod Suncrowned. Hopefully you know that combo. Is Boggles good against this heavy removal meta? No! No, actually. Boggles is suffering badly. Prismatic Ending can exile their auras. Boggles has always had the problem of just being lost, being on the draw against Inquisition of Kozilek or Thoughtseize. So no, it's not that good. Boggles is a funny, and also, like, Engineered Explosives, Chalice of the Void is really, like, everyone's playing with Chalice of the Void, and you get a Chalice on one, that can be GG for a Boggles deck. They can't beat living ends, so you like suit up a huge Bogle, then your opponent living ends you. No, Boggles is just getting crushed right now. It's at the worst time than ever to be playing Boggles. See, removal doesn't always mean spot removal, or spot, and also the spot removal. Not all spot removal is in the like Jund, where it's just like one for winning people. Do you have any tips for getting past the removal that is happening? My decks are getting slayed. Play cards with more card advantage. Bone Crusher Giant, Brazen Borrower. Play with Elementals. Elementals is all value. You play a creature, you get a creature. You play their Harbinger on turn 1, you get a creature. Well, you get to put a good creature on top of your library. You get the Risen Reef out, you get in value. Does Bitter Blossom redeem itself in a ninja deck? No, Bitter Blossom is unplayable. Has been for years. Not changing. Bitter Blossom is... I really don't know what can bring this card back. It was a standard all-star, and that's it. My humble opinion, this is a trash card. It deals damage to you, puts no clock on the battlefield. I mean, you gotta wait like 4 turns to have even anything remotely decent to attack your opponent. Just all around bad. And it's mythic. What do you... Get out of here. Do you think that Magic the Gathering Arena Historic Horizons is overzealous? I don't know. I have no strong opinions with like how they're managing Historic. It's supposed to be Legacy, so they're going to be pumping out more sets, more cards to that thing constantly. They call it Cardboard Crack for a reason. Why does my Soul Sisters need to become good again? What does Soul Sisters need? Maybe the right pilot. Look, I'm a firm believer Okay, I think let's go back to this discussion about Ranger Captain of Eos. I think Soul Sisters should just jam the infinite infinite damage combo in their deck. So you can run Heliod, right? You can run Heliod Sun Crown in your deck. It's already like a good card in the deck because whenever you gain life, you make things bigger. You're a life gain deck, right? And then you can run the Walking Ballista for a random win. So this is a way of Soul Sisters playing unfair in a way. I don't know why they don't try to play this combo. And they can retrieve it with Ranger Captain of Eos. Not to mention Ranger Captain of Eos can find other 1-drops in your deck. Which of course you're going to play because you're a Soul Sisters deck, right? Anyway, I think that's one way to take the deck in a new direction. You give yourself some instant kills, and I think outside of Walking Ballista, like you can put like one Walking Ballista in your deck if you want, because you just grab it with Ranger Captain of Eos. But the rest of the cards have synergy. Ranger Captain of Eos has synergy. If you're afraid of Supreme Verdict, sacrifice this thing on your opponent's turn. Your opponent can't cast non-creature spells this turn, and then you kill them the next turn. Great card. In regards to Magic the Gathering Online, Yoda voice, you must unlearn what you have learned. Depends where you're coming from. Kai says, the main thing I don't like about Arena is a lot of things are done for you. I prefer the manual approach to Moto. I actually like how so many things are done for me on Arena. It feels tedious. Like, I know I've played on Moto for like 7 years now. It's just getting too tedious for me. I really like a lot of things that they've made for Arena, but I understand it's harder to actually learn the game on Arena. You don't really feel like you're... On Moto, you learn exactly how this game works, whereas on Arena, it sort of works like this. Everything's just being done, the computer just makes it happen. I feel like the biggest benefit you left out is you do buy a deck on Magic the Gathering Online. You can eventually sell it back for nearly what you paid for it. If you dump $100 into Arena, it's gone forever. That's a good point. It's a very, very good point. So on Magic the Gathering Online, like I said, you can sell. It has, well, what I said is it has an economy. So that economy not only applies to the prizes that you win, but it also applies to the cards that you buy. If you do buy cards, you can sell it for like 92% of what you bought it for, and you can cash out. This is basically how it is. Although you can't cash out exactly for one tick is equal to $1 if you're buying it, but if you're selling it, it depends on the market. So you can get like 92% of your deck in ticks, and then you can sell each tick for about 90 cents when the market is good. $27 Noetic, why not add Risen Reef and Master of Waves to that Endurance Simic Merfolk list that you put together? That's like 8 cards, and they're all jank. And I don't even like Master of Waves right now. Or I don't know, maybe I should like Master of Waves. Maybe I should playtest Master of Waves again. Jerry Thompson, 1 Pro Tour Amoket with Mono Black Zombies. That's what I'm saying. Like in Standard, every color won. So I'm assuming the question was for Modern. Steve says, hey Nikachu, love your videos. Thanks for all the insight. You're welcome, Steve. I must be really behind on the questions. Dream crossover. Transformers use flip cards. Ooh, that's good. That's a good use of the flip command. Double face card mechanic. Dream MTG crossover. MTG John Wick. Wonder if you have to get. Yeah, I wonder if you got. I wonder if you need Keanu Reeves' permission for this. Will Innistrad be the next Eldraine? We'll have to wait and see. We've only seen like what 5 cards. Anything can happen. And I mean, it looks like they didn't power down the set for given the first 5 cards that they showed us. The first 5 cards that they showed us is already better than the entire Dungeons and Dragons set. It's better than that entire set. Jack Swords. I'm actually way more worried about them saying we didn't design this set with Modern in mind and then dumping them into Modern than I would be if they said they playtested for Modern. I think random Commander cards probably would be more docile than Modern cards. Most Commander cards are just jank. Like, they're powerful in Commander, but they're just jank in Modern. Lord of the Rings in Modern should fix the issue D&D is having in Standard. What the hell is that? I don't know what the issue D&D is having in Standard. Like, it's not seeing any presence? What would be required to make life gain viable in Modern, like Soul Sister vibes? I think I answered that a little bit earlier. With the, you gotta put a combo in the deck. It's like, what I like about Heliod Suncrowned is there is an ability. If you gain life, put a counter on a creature you control. Okay, that's great. So you can benefit off of that. Also, you can randomly kill your opponents. Oh, where's the Walking Ballista? And then maybe people can get this combo banned. Gotta get Walking Ballista out of that format! Get out of here. I hate this card. Snipe off all my little merfolk, but there's like no good reason to ban Walking Ballista. Andrew Sisson, I personally don't care about the skins. It's fine. I just was wondering if it's really going to help Magic grow. I run all the best. I run all the best art cards. LOL. Well, we'll see. Well, we'll see. I think this is exactly what they're trying to do. Bernardo, thins? You mean skins? This means they won't playtest Lord of the Ring cards for Modern, and we might get stuff like Oko Companions. No, they're not going to do that. Uro that weren't meant to be impact. No. Look, they did not mean for any of these cards to impact Standard the way they did, and they all got banned. The problem, look, they didn't even playtest them properly for Standard. Forget Modern. And Tybalt's Trickery, they probably knew what was happening with Tybalt's Trickery, and they just printed it anyway. That one maybe they knew, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. It's hard because they don't playtest for Modern. They still don't. They have some assumptions of what it's going to do in Modern, but they mostly playtest for Standard. But these cards were too strong even for Standard, and they all got banned or errated. What does Green-White Enchantress need to be a truly viable deck in this meta? A better win condition, maybe? Like, it's not winning fast enough. You put up some sort of a lock, and then you try to win, but it's pretty slow, and some of their lock pieces are still creatures. So it needs, like, maybe it needs a better win condition, or maybe a slightly lower curve. Bruh, that isn't great to hear for someone who just got a Boggles deck as their first deck. Well, hey, welcome. Welcome to the club. My first Modern deck was a Boggles deck, and you know what? I got my shit kicked in. I just got crushed. It's actually a really hard deck to play. It's a huge lie that people say, oh, Boggles is a great deck to buy into as your first Modern deck because it's so easy. Okay, technically, it is easy to just cast the cards and put them on your creature, but it is very hard to win with. It is very hard to win with. And if you're a new player, you need to know what your opponent is bringing in to hate against you, because the hate cards destroy you. I lost like 20 matches straight because of this card. And I didn't realize at the time, because I was new to Modern, that every deck at the time had this card for Splinter Twin. And they all brought it in against me, and I lost to it 100% of the time. I just snap lost when they played this card. And there's other things you have to be worried about in this metagame. I mean, there are so many cards out against Boggles. And if you don't see them coming, you're just going to lose left, right, and center. I actually would not recommend Boggles as a first deck these days. Just because I know the challenges. I just really got crushed. I got crushed so bad. And then I moved to Merfolk. And it was great. Finally, I had game. Like, easy, you know, decks can be easy to play the cards, but not necessarily easy to win with. A guy in my shop uses Helix Pinnacle as a win in his Enchantress deck. Yeah, but that's slow. That's so slow. So that's Shroud. I mean, it starts with 1 green, so that's not too bad. Put X tower counters on Helix Pinnacle at the beginning of your upkeep. If there are 100 more tower counters on Helix Pinnacle, you win the game. Okay, while you're doing that, I won. Yep, sorry about that. That's magic, I guess. See, it takes forever to win the game with Enchantress. That's one problem. They can sort of establish a lock, but if they don't establish that hard lock, you're screwed. Like, there's a lot of fast, powerful decks in Modern right now. Grace finally jumped into Modern today with a budget mono blue Tron deck. Had so many misplays due to being unfamiliar with Magic the Gathering on interface. Hey, well, it happens to everyone. Nothing to be ashamed of. Everyone loses to the Magic the Gathering Online interface. That's why I highly suggest when people play Magic the Gathering Online for the first time, don't play in leagues. Don't play for money immediately, because it's pointless. Go, because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make, like, interface mistakes constantly. Go into the tournament practice area. It's free, and you still have people to play against. Play there for a while until you're comfortable with the user interface before you start playing for money. In my opinion. Alright, people, it's time for Decklist review. Boop! So, if you've got a deck list you want to share with the coffee crew, hey, go into my description. There is a link to my Discord. Join my Discord. It's a wonderful Discord. There is a channel called Decklist Review, and there you can submit your deck list using the command !review deck space. Give the URL to your deck list. And you'll be eligible at random for Decklist Review. It is random, people. Yeah, Magic the Gathering Online wins the match. Magic the Gathering Online always wins. Which deck do you think are easy to pilot? Boros, Burn, or Mono Green Tron? Probably Burn is easier. Tron is a little bit more nuanced. It's a powerful deck, but I mean, it still plays like a control deck. I used to think like Tron was like a drooling moron type of deck, but then when I watched enough people play Tron, they like it impressed me how wrong you could go with this deck. You know, how you play your lands, when you crack your expedition map. Like, people crack their expedition map too early, in my opinion, especially when they don't have any plan for Tron at all. So anyway, it turns out there's actually a lot of room for error with that deck. Can a mono green aggro beat an actual meta on Modern? No. There's no mono green deck. People have tried, but no, it has not happened. There's also no real requirement to play for money on Magic the Gathering Online, but the stakes do make the matches way more fun, and you run into harder decks there and can challenge yourself. Also, when you play for money on Magic the Gathering Online, you're going to play against the real decks for the most part. I mean, if you play in the tournament practice area, you're going to play against a lot of brew. A lot of brews. Oh yeah, well, Boggles does have a history of success, but it needs to be positioned perfectly. If it's positioned perfectly, there's no sideboard cards, the metagame is just right, the removal suite of the decks are in just the right way, Boggles can be invincible. But in general, it's usually not. So be careful when you're playing a Boggles deck, people. Alright, Commissar? You're the next contestant on Decklist Review. Let's go! Feed the squirrel. Colgari food? I think you mean Golgari food? As Morano Martica Dasna Kuldakar. I haven't had to say that name in a while. Cauldron Familiar, part of the, what I'm guessing is the Witch's Oven combo. Why do we have so few pieces of the Witch's Oven combo in this deck? You have 3 Familiar. Oh, you're going to search for stuff with this. Okay. So, Gilded Goose, Ravenous Squirrel. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact or creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Ravenous Squirrel. So you got a little bit of synergy here with the food tokens. Oval Chase Daredevil. 3 Street Wraith. This is like... I don't know what you're supposed to cut, but like this is such a weird number of cards. Like why play Street Wraith when you're only going to run 3 of them? Like whatever. I mean, I don't know the strategic limitations or deck building limitations to running 3 of these. Feasting Troll King. So Finale of Devastation can find a Cauldron Familiar and an and actually Asmarano, right? Search library or graveyard for a creature card with conversion mana cost X or less, put it onto the battlefield. If you're so you can for 2 mana find Asmarano. That's interesting. That's some neat tech. And Asmarano's like hitting the battlefield turn 2 often anyway, because you need a discard outlet first. That is so... Is this new? Like, has anyone done this before? This is like a tutor for Asmarano, essentially. I think this is really clever. I think this is really smart. So you basically have now 8 ways of finding the Underworld Cookbook. In my opinion, I think... I'm not sure, but I think there should be less Underworld Cookbooks and more like Cauldron Familiars and Witches' Ovens, because you can't tutor for these things. Oh no, hold on. Okay, yeah, you can't tutor for those things, but you can tutor for the Underworld Cookbook. Asmarano does not cost mana. So, oh, can you find her? Because she has a mana value of 0. Search your library for graveyard for a creature card with well, I guess this is errata too. Mana value X or less, and less can be 0. So you can look for 0 mana stuff. You can look for, it's by default, it has a mana value of nothing. Oh, hold on, let's look at the, I guess let's look at the, hold on. What's your, search your library and or graveyard for a creature card with mana value X or less. Yeah, that's fine. If it asks specifically for mana cost, that would be different. Mana value includes, I mean, if a card doesn't have a mana cost on it, then it has a mana value of 0. Does this deck need 23 lands? Good question. Probably not. So I would love to up the number of Witch's Oven, Cauldron Familiar, and Street Wraith. Maybe we can just pluck 3 lands and call it a day. Because I don't know why we're going... Like, this is part of a combo. A combo you can't... Well, you can tutor for the Cauldron Familiar, but you can't tutor for Witch's Oven. You only have 3 of them in your deck, and I do think you're still going to want to have Street Wraiths in your deck to be able to get your synergy with Asmarano a good chunk of the time. Oh, Urza's Saga is the land? Okay, what does it... Okay, here's a good question. What is the... What's the mana base of a normal deck? I never really paid attention to them food decks. Oh my god, where are the food decks? They've fallen off the face of the earth. Okay, here's one. Not exactly the same, but whatever. 22? Okay. And this has a pretty high curve, too, with Urza. Okay, how about this? We shave 1 land for a Witch's Oven. Or, I don't know, Street Wraith. You choose. Oh, you can tutor for Oven with Urza's Saga. That's true, actually. Okay, we shave 1 land for a Street Wraith, then. My final answer. Or, if you really don't want to, I guess keep the deck as it is. I think you should find room for that last Street Wraith. I would probably, maybe even cut the Ravenous Squirrel, because you can look for this with Finale of Devastation. Like, this is This is a very unique card, and it helps you get Azmorano on turn 1. Because you don't have a lot of other... You don't have any other discard outlets. There's nothing else. There's the Underworld Cookbook, but you use Azmorano to find the cookbook. Yeah, Saga gets Oven. Alright. The Coffee Crew is smarter than me. Boom. Urza Saga can help find the oven. Cut Wraith. They are a trap. Asmo is removal. Is a removal lightning rod. Dies on turn 2 all the time. So what? I mean, but you still get the the witches. Sorry, not you. Still get the Underworld Cookbook. Like you still get value out of it. And then if you have Oval Chase Daredevil, then you start going to town with that value. Fatal Push, Nihil Spellbomb, Thoughtseize, Assassin's Trophy, Force of Vigor, Leyline of the Void. I really don't have any problems with this list. I'm just curious if this is a unique take on the deck with Finale of Devastation. I never paid attention to the lists or the Golgari. I never saw any lists with playing Finale of Devastation, or if they did, I just completely missed it. Like, is this a unique take? I guess the guy who's never played the deck knows better. I have not played the deck. But, like, hold on, like, Terry, if you're saying, like, Azmorano is pointless in this deck, then why even play the deck in the first place? You can't, like... It's like saying, why are you playing Merfolk? All the Merfolk just died to a removal spell. It's all a trap. I think every single deck plays 4 Street Wraith. You show me an Azmorano deck that doesn't play Street Wraith. Huh? You show me an Azmorano deck that doesn't play Street Wraith. I would be flabbergasted if there was an Azmorano deck that didn't play Street Wraith. Let's try to find another one. These are all Grixis versions, though. Here, let's look at this one. 4 Street Wraith. It's fine. Let's look for one that's not in the Grixis colors. Let's see, like some Golgari Kitchen deck. Here's a Street Wraith. You have, when you make a statement like that, Terry, you gotta back it up with results. You gotta back it up with results. It's like saying you can't play Ether Vial in Merfolk. It's a trap. It's like it's a removal heavy format. You can't afford to play that card. I'm fine, but you have to back it up with results because it is a staple in every single. I'm certain it's in every single deck. In every single one. Oh, we do see some 3 Street Wraiths. Okay, hold on. What is the percentages here? Oh, apparently this is not new. Okay, this is 3.5 in 100% of decks. What's the Street Wraith percentage? 3.3 in 75% of decks. Okay, so maybe Terry's on to something. 3.3 in 75% of decks, so some versions do not play it at all. So which ones are not playing Street Wraith? Okay, I'm just going to look at the biggest ones. I don't like to look at these random crappy events. Modern Challenge, Hell's Kitchen, 11th place, played 4 Street Wraith. So I'm just going to look at the absolute best tournaments. Let's see if we can learn something about Street Wraith here. Not the leagues. I don't care about the leagues. Okay, so this one, 8th place. 4 Street Wraith in the 8th place finish in the Modern Challenge. So I'm just selecting out events I know are high quality. So Modern Challenge again, 11th place. 3 Street Wraiths. I hate how it pushes me directly back to the top. I really hate that. Let's see. Modern Challenge, 11th place. 4 Street Wraith. Preliminary, 4-0. That's a strong event. 3 Street Wraith. Let's see. Modern League. Okay, so that's enough. Every single, in all the top quality events where this food deck made a good placing, there was at least 3 Street Wraiths. So we're definitely sticking to 3 Street Wraith, and more than half of them had 4. Oh, open a new tab. Maybe that's a good way to do it. Finale is great, but it is turn 2. Turn 1 is better, and this way you have enablers instead of just one. Worst case scenario, Street Wraith is just a redraw. I guess that's true. We don't need to unload on so many Street Wraiths because we are playing with Finale of Devastation, which is an alternate way of finding Azumarill, Martika, Dasna, Dakar. But just a heads up, all the winning lists played with at least 3, if not 4. If nothing else, it can cycle through your deck. Don't forget, people, you can cast this creature. I think people forget about that a lot. You can have 5 mana, and you throw a 3/4 unblockable creature on the battlefield, which is invincible to Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push, Prismatic Ending, basically all of the best removal spells right now. Stomp from Bone Crusher Giant, Abrade. I guess the only thing it doesn't dodge is Unholy Heat, which is a new card right now. Engineered Explosives, like Street Wraith, when played properly, I mean, this is True Name Nemesis. This is True Name Nemesis in this format. A lot of people have, well, maybe a lot of people don't have Swamps right now, because we're moving heavily into blue-red. I get hard every single time we say that name in full. You can afford to pay 5 mana for a creature? Well, not immediately, but like as the game goes long, and this is a grindy type of deck. It does grind. You do have that ability to eventually like get the Street Wraith on the battlefield. I feel like people forget about that part of this card. The hidden mode of Street Wraith, just casting the damn thing. MTG Top 8 got a list without Street Wraith. Yeah, but what was the event? See, like, there's a lot of events here, but I'm ignoring all the garbage ones. All the events are not made equal. Like the Cellar Dweller Weekly Modern, I don't care. Modern leagues, I also don't care. You can go 5-0 with anything in a modern league. Modern Challenge is tough. Like that's, you know, the creme de la creme to come out to those events. It's a tough event, and as you win, you're only playing against other people who are winning and are doing good. And same thing, modern preliminaries are high entry fee, very low prizes, so the people who play in them are like really hardcore. If you want to pay, divvy out that much money to play in those things. Maybe add a Trail of Crumbs to the sideboard. Well, okay, I'll give that question to Terry. What do you think of Trail of Crumbs? I don't feel strongly about anything in the sideboard right now. I don't know what this deck needs, to be honest. What would you take out? If Trail is good... When Trail of Crumbs enters the battlefield, create a food token. Whenever you sacrifice... Oh, is this for the main deck? Whenever you sacrifice a food, you may pay 1. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of your library. You may reveal a permanent card from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. This card is good? It looks like it's meant for the main deck, but I don't even know if I want to have it in the main deck. Do other decks play this card? Here, I'm just gonna take a Modern League one. Oh yeah, there's like a one of in the sideboard. Super card advantage. Do you have a playlist of what we're listening to? I don't, sorry. Best case you can do is go on YouTube and look up Banjo-Kazooie music playlist or Mario RPG playlist. But what we've taken out here in the sideboard. I don't know what is in their sideboard. My deck runs Unmarked Graves to go harder on the Carlton of the Cat Oven. A lot of decks play Trail, yes. Okay, how about this? We take out. Looks like this deck does not care at all for the. Do you really need Nihil Spellbomb and Leyline of the Void? Maybe we take out one of these for a Trail of Crumbs. And we leave a Trail of Crumbs for card advantage. Okay, enough of this lit. We didn't even change much. Did we change anything? I feel like we said take out a land, put in a Witch's Oven. How many lands are these decks playing? 23? Okay, we guess we can't change anything. This is just a stock main deck. I still want that 4th Street Wraith in there. And I guess that's it. But outside of that, I mean, the deck is a deck. It's a solid deck either way. However you cut it. God damn it, we spent like 20 minutes on that deck. You're taking up all the time of other decks. But anyway, good luck with the list. Mr. Smith. Infinity Saprolings. If you search the card, doesn't it tell you what decks it's played in? It can on MTG Goldfish, yes. Okay, the greatest Brushwag. What? Okay, hold on. What is this thing? Okay, this is a modern infinite combo Selesnya deck / Stompy deck. So we got. Hold on. Can we have an explanation? Don't play this deck against control / burn if you want to win. Get infinite mana from Devoted Druid and Vizier of Remedies. If you are able to get the infinite mana combo off turn 3 and have any tutors in hand, you can play Duskwatch Recruiter and get both Brushwag and Sirach to hand with infinite mana floating. Play Sirach and Brushwag and swing for 1 trillion damage. This deck used to run Persist creatures plus Altar of Dementia. However, the Altar was too difficult to find and it wasn't a creature. If there are any creature cards like Altar of Dementia, let me know. Also, sideboard is kind of a mess. Probably should run Veil of Summers and Walking Ballista, but that's no fun. Yeah, I mean, you should just play the this combo with Vizier of Remedies and Devoted Druid. I mean, this is nothing new at all. So you should. Don't you want? Hold on, what is this? I guess Court of Calling can find anything. I can't remember. Doesn't isn't Finale of Devastation basically similar or better? I mean, you need mana, I guess. You can't tap your creatures. Search your library for a graveyard. Search your library and or graveyard for a creature card. Convert mana cost X or less. Put onto the battlefield if you search the library this way. So I think Finale of Devastation for the most part is better than this card, especially since you're running Utopia Sprawl as one of your creatures, so you convoking things are not as good. Well, they said walking, that's no fun. That's the problem. So they want Sirach at the beginning of your combat. If creatures you control have power 8 or greater, target creature you control gains haste this turn. And the almighty Brushwag. So you can, with infinite mana, you can make it infinite. Like, because the thing is, with Walking Ballista, you can only deal as much damage as your opponent has life. You don't actually deal infinite damage. I guess that's what this particular player is concerned about. You don't deal infinite damage. But with this, you can deal 1 trillion damage. You can deal a Google of damage. You can deal 100 billion of damage. Deal as much damage as you want, because you get to determine how big the creatures are before you attack for the win. And so this gives haste. So I guess what it comes down to is you need to make the rest of the deck as consistent as possible. Of course, you should have more lands, more... Actually, how much is white mana? No, you need more white mana, right? You have like almost no white mana. What the hell is with your mana base? This is ridiculous. This is terrible, actually. Okay, so you want like... I mean, maybe this is a budget mana, but play the pathways or something. I don't know. But you can't... This is just way too few lands. Hold on, what is... Does Utopia Sprawl need to go on a forest? It needs to enchant a forest. Brushland is not a forest. Which means you need fetch lands. 4, 7. You literally have 11 white sources in your deck. With the Utopia Sprawl. This mana base sucks. And it's important because you need white mana for your... Well, I guess you don't need white mana for Vizier of Remedies. You can tutor Vizier out. But some of your tutors require white mana. Oh yeah, I guess you could have Postmortem Lunge in the sideboard for control matchups. Commune with nature. And by the way, against... you have Shaper Sanctuary already, so that's not too bad against Burn. Commune with nature. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Reveal a creature card from among them, put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Binding Way. Choose a creature or land. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all cards of the chosen type revealed this way into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. These are really clunky. These are huge clunkers. Honestly, like, what is like, let's look up a... Let's just look up a typical Devoted Devastation deck, because that's all you're trying to do. But you're sort of on a budget. Oh god, this is not your traditional Devoted Devastation deck. These are all very different. Looking for a Selesnya one. Okay, this one's close enough. Oh, Giver of Runes. A great idea, but you need a better mana base for that one. See, as you see, they play with Finale of Devastation. Well, I mean, Finale of Devastation also gives you, like, infinite damage, right? Because you can go, if you have infinite mana, you go Finale of Devastation for 100 billion. This also, I think, is in line with what you're trying to do with damage. So instead of, like, Court of Calling, you use Finale of Devastation with infinite mana. Search for a converted mana cost creature of a Google, and then, like, your mana dork in play has, like, a Google amount of power. Abundant Harvest doesn't find specific land cards. It'll just find a random land card. Noble Hierarch would be... Well, we're using Noble Hierarch. Doesn't this deck play, like, Collected Company? Maybe not anymore. We're using Arbor Elf because it combos with Utopia Sprawl. And Utopia Sprawl is a... well, mana fixer. Horde is better in this deck because it's an instant and can be cast end step for pseudo haste. Well, I don't think you need pseudo haste because when you combo off, you combo off. I mean, maybe it's better. Well, I don't think it's better because all the other Devoted Devastation decks don't play it. Yeah, I think everything's on the budget side. How do we make this? You have 2, 4, so there's 12, 14. 14 forests, which is the minimum that you need. Oh, man. Okay, so my suggestion is get more temple gardens. Just get 2 more. It would help the deck a lot. And then maybe we just call it a day there. Does finale give haste? I think with creature, the creature it comes out, yes. Hold on. Search your library and graveyard for a creature card. Can mana cost X or less put onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. If X is 10, if X is 10 or more, creatures you control get +1, +X, and gain haste until end of turn. So if you have infinite mana, yeah, it gains haste. Which deck do you use, Sprite Dragon? It used to be the Is It Prowess decks, but they removed Sprite Dragon for Dragon Rage Chandler. Well, if but you can't if we have the combo already and we don't have Finale of Devastation, then we do need haste, right? So what if we have infinite mana and the Duskwatch Recruiter, but we don't have Finale of Devastation? Hold on, what is it? Because Duskwatch Recruiter, reveal a creature card. You can only find creature cards with this. So when a push comes to shove, we still need our haste enabler. Okay, so my suggestions. Add 2 Temple Guard and get rid of 2 Forests. You know, sell cards to get it. I'd remove Court of Calling, add... I don't like either of these cards, to be honest. I really don't, but I don't know what to replace them with. Unless we keep Court of Calling to, I don't know, just as extra tutors. Maybe Winding Way is okay. It's like, it's a decent card advantage, but Commune with Nature seems like it sucks. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. It's okay, actually. You know what? These cards are okay. They're not that bad. It's okay. Once Upon a Time is banned. It's super banned. Yeah, no Collected Company. This deck uses Aladamri's Call and Court of Calling to find very specific cards, or in this case, it would be Finale of Devastation. You know what? I'll allow these. The biggest problem is the mana base, because you don't have that many white sources. And then, yeah, in the sideboard, we could maybe use some more Post-Mortem Lunge, which is not even a very expensive card to help you against those control decks. But I think I'm going to leave that to you, what you think you should remove against those decks. Maybe it's Spellskite. Maybe it's Spellskite. I don't know what it's going to be. But hopefully those suggestions help you on your journey to do a bazillion, majillion damage to your opponents. All right, everyone, that's going to be it for Coffee and MTG. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you want to check out the replay to Coffee and MTG, go check it out at Nikachu MTG Streams, my alternate YouTube channel, and that's where Coffee and MTG's future is going to be in a little bit more than a week, so make sure you're subbed over there. If I didn't get your comments, questions, or deck lists, hey, we do this Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. If you do not support the channel and want to do so, you can always drop a sub at twitch.tv/NikachuMTG. Who dropped a sub recently? Huge shout out to Kakashi Senpai 88 for dropping a sub over there. Thank you very much. I should gotta acknowledge the people who drop subs when I'm not even live on Twitch. Also, you can become a patron at patreon.com/NikachuMTG or hit the join button on YouTube that some people do. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me today. Hopefully you have a good day. Hopefully this is the start. You know, I'm glad everyone joins me today to start the morning right talking about Magic. So keep brewing up those coffees, coffee crew, and we will keep brewing up Magic each and every single day.